How far will you go for your dog? I never thought I'd live in my car for 3 months, but when the landlord suddenly banned pets in our building, I couldn't bring myself to give up Max. He wasn't just any dog. Max was a Great Dane I'd rescued 6 years ago, found tied to a dumpster, just a skinny puppy with matted fur and sad eyes. The vet guessed someone abandoned him when they realized how massive he'd become. Now, 180 pounds, he was my gentle giant who'd gotten me through my father's funeral and my sister's cancer diagnosis. He knew when I needed him most, resting his huge head on my lap whenever I cried. Then came the letter under my door. New building management. No pets policy effective immediately. $2,500 fine for any units found with animals after 30 days. My heart stopped. Breaking my lease would cost everything I'd saved, and finding a place that would take a dog Max's size seemed impossible. Just get rid of him, my coworker suggested, like he was furniture I could leave on the curb. I stopped asking for advice after that. The night before the deadline, I made my choice. I loaded Max and whatever would fit into my 2008 Honda Civic. I left behind my TV, my bookshelf, and most of my clothes, but took his ridiculous oversized dog bed that barely fit in the trunk. That first night in the Walmart parking lot, watching him try to get comfortable in the backseat, I wondered if I'd lost my mind. By morning, with his drool on my shoulder and my legs cramped from sharing the reclined driver's seat, I knew I'd make the same choice again. Living in your car with a Great Dane isn't just inconvenient, it's nearly impossible. My coworkers thought I was staying with my cousin while apartment hunting. Nobody knew I was showering at the gym and eating peanut butter sandwiches for dinner. I'd drive to different spots each night so security wouldn't notice us. The summer heat meant I couldn't leave Max in the car while I worked. I called in sick so often I nearly lost my job. My savings disappeared as fast as my hope. Then came the moment that changed everything. A cop knocked on my window at 5 a.m. I froze, certain they'd take Max away. My heart pounded as I rolled down the window, Max's huge head peering over my shoulder. But instead, the officer said, "Ma'am, my partner and I noticed you've been sleeping here all week. Everything okay?" I broke down completely, told him everything while Max licked away my tears. The officer listened, then wrote down an address. My sister runs a small rescue. She has a cabin on the property where volunteers sometimes stay. It's not much, but it's better than your car. The cabin turned out to be basically a shed with electricity, but it had a real bed and space for Max to stretch out. The rescue owner, Jenna, didn't pity me. She just handed me a key and said, "Been there." In exchange for staying, I helped with the other dogs on weekends. To everyone's surprise, Max became the unofficial therapy dog for the traumatized rescues. Something about his calm presence soothed even the most anxious dogs. The staff started calling him the healer. For 3 months, I showered in the communal bathroom, saved every penny, and applied for better jobs during lunch breaks. I finally found a tiny house to rent on the outskirts of town. The commute is brutal, an hour each way, but the landlord has a mastiff himself and didn't even blink at Max's size. Yesterday, I officially moved out of the cabin. As I packed our few belongings, Jenna handed me an envelope. Inside was every dollar I'd paid her for utilities, along with a note. "Use this for a fence. Big boys need room to run." When I tried to refuse, she just said, "Pay it forward someday." My parents still think I'm crazy. "You lived in your car for a dog?" they ask, incredulous. But they don't understand that Max isn't just a pet. He's the family member who never abandoned me, who stayed when everyone else left. Would I do it all again? In a heartbeat. Because when you truly love something, the question isn't how far will you go? It's how could I not?